Paying yourself as a business owner is one of the most emotionally loaded decisions you'll ever make. Some owners feel guilty about taking money out of their business. Others will take whatever's left in the business whenever it's left. Some will avoid the topic entirely. Others will take as much as they can out of their business. But most business owners aren't sure whether they're doing it right. And if that sounds familiar to you, the problem isn't discipline or selfishness or greed. It's that owner pay in a business is usually treated as an afterthought when it's actually a system. Owner pay sits at the intersection of three things: cash flow, profit, and identity. It's more than just deciding how much you're going to pay yourself. You're deciding how safe your business feels, how valued your time, effort, and energy are, and how much pressure you carry in your personal capacity. So, what you're juggling here is, if you take money out of your business, is the business going to survive? Are you going to be able to pay your own personal expenses, your rent, transportation, school fees? Likely the very reason you started the business in the first place. And you're also looking at whether it's worth your while, worth your time to work in this business and earn the amount that you're earning. That's why advice around this topic is usually vague. It seems emotional, extreme at times, and in reality, you're just looking for a framework, some structure on how to pay yourself. In our previous videos, we talked about how your profit can be misleading. We looked at cash flow and managing your cash flow. We also looked at the runway that your business needs. Your owner pay sits at the intersection of all of these things. Owner pay is not going to be separate from your cash flow. And it's not going to be something that you set it and forget it, because the amount that you pay yourself out of your business is going to affect your cash flow, the stability of your business, and whether your business remains viable. In addition, you're going to have some tax considerations around how much you pay yourself. How you structure your pay is going to affect the tax in your business and your personal income tax. We've already done a video that looks at the tax structure of how to pay yourself. But in this video, we're going to focus on the financial structure. The most common mistake that business owners make is to treat their pay as optional. They look at it as something that's flexible or a residual from the business. They'll often feel safer paying themselves what's left in the business or whatever the bank balance allows that specific month. And for the most part, it keeps the business afloat, at least in the short term. But over time, it's going to cause three significant problems. Your business will look much more profitable than it actually is. And you are going to absorb that hidden risk personally, and you will slowly start to experience burnout. Understand this. Underpaying yourself doesn't make the business safer or healthier. It just hides the problem. On the flip side, owner pay isn't a reward. You have to think of it as a cost of doing business. Your salary represents leadership in your business, good decision making, and the full set of responsibilities that you carry as the owner of that business. So treating your pay as something that's optional, flexible, or residual is going to distort the picture of your business's finances. You'll no longer be able to see whether the business can support itself. What you see is whether you can keep carrying the business. So, what's a healthy way to think about how to pay yourself? Well, paying yourself is part of the operating structure of your business. Your salary needs to be planned. It needs to be repeatable, and it needs to fit into the cash flow of your business and the runway that your business has. So it doesn't mean you're going to have to pay yourself aggressively. It just means you need to be intentional. When you structure your pay, your cash flow is going to be a lot clearer. The decisions you make a lot calmer because you're being more honest about the business and where it stands. This is not about lifestyle or entitlement. It's about sustainability. A business that only works when the owner is sacrificing themselves is going to be fragile by design, whereas a business that can pay its owner fairly and consistently is going to be much more resilient without drama, even if the numbers are small. So you want to look at, after you pay yourself from your business, what do the profits in your business look like? And when you do pay yourself, how does that impact your cash flow? And more importantly, can you sustain this long term? Because paying yourself is not the enemy of the growth of your business. It's a test on whether growth is actually real. In our next few videos, we're going to delve deeper into this topic. We're going to look at how much to pay yourself, when to start paying yourself. We're going to answer the question why paying yourself last causes long-term damage in your business. But the foundation is this: paying yourself is not a moral decision, it's a structural decision.